Hey everybody, it's your girl. I'm back. Okay, that sounded so wrong when I said it. Alright, everybody, welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the road noise here. I just wanted to talk again to the fellas today about things that are not attractive to women, things that you might need to work on if you want to attract a quality woman, right? Because there are, you can attract any woman, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's a woman of quality. So these are habits that and situations that you don't need to involve yourself with. We are trying to attract a woman of quality who will be faithful to you and bring out the best in you, so you reach your highest potential. All right, so here are some things that I've noticed just in talking to guys, who were trying to appeal to me, which they didn't because they had. I'm just gonna jump right into this list here. So some things that women of quality, with character, who have morals or virtues, would not find appealing is if a guy has any drug addictions of any kind, or if he even uses drugs at all. Most women would. I mean, sometimes guys, they talk to a lady and they wonder why they didn't get a second date or something like that. There's some things that we women pick up on that signal that the man might be not a loser, but he might be lacking in ambition, or he doesn't have direction, doesn't know where he's going. So if you have an addiction of any kind, that would kind of be a red flag to a lady who's about something, who's about something real, who's not trying to waste her time. Yeah, so if you encounter a woman like that, she's not gonna find that appealing. A lot of guys, just carelessly talk about their drug use habits, and that is not appealing to an upstanding woman. So if that's you, I would suggest that you get help for that. Cut that habit out, because it's drugs. Even MJ, I don't want to say the actual word in YouTube, don't want to get flagged, but even MJ or whatever, it's very pernicious. So it's like, it seems not harmful, but over time it can be very harmful. People just think it's an herb, but that's not correct. So I mean, I've seen personally, just from people I've known, that MJ affects memory, and these people are young people, but they're dealing with things like memory loss at like 30. So I mean, that's just one thing. If you don't want to be a person who's like older and they have memory problems, they don't even remember who they are, I would suggest you put the green stuff down. Yeah, but that's just one thing. Another thing that many women do not find appealing is if it appears that you cannot financially support yourself. She's not going to take you seriously, like, as husband material. Even the most non-gold digging woman is not going to find it appealing if you can't take care of yourself. All right, that should be the bare minimum. You should at least be able to take care of yourself, especially if you're pursuing someone. So that's one thing that gets women to not take a man seriously, is if he's relying on government support and he's fully capable of working, that's not attractive, okay? And so if it looks also that the man does not have goals or ambition or direction. So a lot of times when women go out on a date with a guy and the guy thought that the date went well, but she never contacted you again, or that's probably the reason why. She picked up on something that says, oh, this guy's not husband material. I don't want to waste my time investigating this further. Another thing that really sets guys back is if we pick up on that you like to engage with multiple women, if you're kind of promiscuous. I know women get a lot of heat for that, but I mean, it's not appealing to a woman of quality if you are promiscuous. Like, I know guys think it makes them look like the man, but it's really not attractive to us. So if we pick up on that you don't have any self-control, that you like to I mean, like, for example, if we're just walking around with you and you are checking out, ogling a lot of women, that's not attractive. I mean, we don't want to feel like we have to compete for your attention. And to be honest, we shouldn't have to. Like, if you really like us, like, if a guy really likes you, you don't have to compete for his attention. But if you're the type of man who likes to pit women against each other or stuff like that, I mean, if I, as a lady, I would just move on from that. I don't need that type of stress in my life. But yeah, if it seems like you like to engage in flings, one night stands with a lot of women, you might think that makes you look like a man, but that's going to be a turn off to a lot of women, to most women. So unless she's that type herself and she's not looking for anything serious, but yeah, I would not suggest going for someone like that. Anyway, but yeah, that's just another quality that would pick up on. So if a man seems like he has no ambition or low ambition, no direction or goals, he's like just content where he's at. He doesn't have any dreams or anything for the future. Another thing that is not attractive to women is if a man always, a lot of men like to promise things. They call it future faking. A lot of men like to talk about what's about to happen, what they're going to do, what they plan to do. But if we don't see any evidence, any action towards that, she's gonna bounce. So, I mean, that's always been the case with me, at least. I can speak for myself in that area. Like, I've had guys promise me, oh, yeah, I do want to get married soon, but, you're still living at your mom's house. What am I to believe? Am I to believe what you're telling me, or am I to believe what I'm seeing? I choose to believe what I'm seeing. So, yeah, if you're a guy and, you make promises that are completely baseless, like there's no credibility there's no attachment to reality, there's no process that started to take you to where you're talking about, a woman that is perceptive is not going to fall for those shenanigans. That's just mindless chatter, just talk. So yeah, if she detects that you're not really about anything, and that's gonna be a red flag. So all these things I'm mentioning are red flags to a woman who's, seriously interested in dating, finding something real. So if a man is like talking about how he's, going to get a car soon, I mean, that's all fine and well, but we need to see that process getting started and put in motion. Otherwise you're just talking, and an educated woman's gonna leave a man like that in the dust, as I have had to several times. Okay, so I mean, talk is cheap, as they say. Promises, I mean, what can you do with those? Promises don't pay the bills, as Miss Becky G said. But yeah, you need to be about something. And I've had guys talk about all this money that they're supposedly about to come into, but as we all know, potential may never be realized. So if you're just talking about what's about to happen, until it actually happens, all it is air. Okay, we need something concrete. We can't put our hope in promises. So if you're the type of guy who likes to promise things in the future that are going to happen, but especially if you're not putting in the effort to make those things happen, then she's not going to stick around and wait for those things to materialize, because most likely those things never will if you're just talking about it and you're not putting any action behind it. So the difference is, we can detect a man who may not be where he wants to be, but is actively working towards his goals. That's a different story. We can put faith in a guy like that he's going to come through with what he set out to do if he's consistent and he keeps working towards his goals. Like, we're not talking about a man who is not necessarily where he wants to be yet, but he's working towards it. We're talking about a guy who just promises all these grand promises, but they never amount to anything because he never puts them into action. That's the type of man that we're talking about. And so, ladies, know the difference. But yeah, it's up to you to decide if you want to go along for that ride, that adventure. But yeah, you know, it just has to seem promising. And, you know, you got to use wisdom and discernment here. You can't just take a guy at his word. Like I've had men promise me, oh, you know, I'm about to come into some money really soon. I just have to sign this contract or whatever, you know. But I noticed a pattern. If you notice a pattern with him, it's always a promise about what's about to happen, what he's going to do, what he's planning on achieving. I mean, you know, if that's the type of man you're dealing with, I would say that's a waste of time, because he's just trying to buy time. A lot of time, you know, some men will try to buy time. And when they're trying to buy time, they're stalling for time. They're essentially wasting your time. So, you know, if he's vague about the future, saying, you know, oh yeah, I might be ready to be married in like 5 years or something, I wouldn't waste any more time on that. You got your answer there. You gotta be just aware of time wasters. That's probably gonna be another video for another day. But yeah, if a guy seems vague about his future plans, it's because he probably doesn't have any, at least not with you. So, but yeah, I just want to point out some things, fellas, that are not appealing to women. And, you know, we all have things to work on. But I would say the drug habit is something I've noticed with a lot of guys. And that is just really not appealing. I know a lot of guys think it makes them look cool, maybe. Or, you know, it's not. So, you know, women want mature and responsible guys. And so I would say, if you're looking to attract a quality mate, you have to, I mean, I hate that saying you have to become what you want to attract, but if you want like a classy lady, like, you know, you got your eye on somebody who takes care of herself and all those things, she has ambition and goals, you're not going to attract someone like that by, you know, being into illicit things, I guess. So, yeah. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this. But does it ring a bell? Is it helpful? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Be blessed, and goodbye.